Hey guys, let's start this new series, Themes in Indian History, Part 2 of new NCERTs. Why new? Because the content is updated plus aligned and recently have become more important. So I would suggest you to give a view to at least summary video so that you can add on to the previous NCERTs you have read. This is theme 5, rather chapter 1, through the eyes of travelers. This chapter is based on the theme of eyes of travelers, that is their viewpoint, their perspective, neutral or biased, both are dealt here. Travelers here means the traveler from outside India, that is from regions like Europe, Arab region, etc. We will deal with them accordingly. The introduction says about why travelers came to India, or rather anywhere they went. Why? In search of job, merchant, traders, pilgrimage, etc. They wandered outside of their origin places, and most importantly, the curiosity. In this chapter, we will majorly see about male travelers. Why not females? Because we don't have any actual record in text form, but they definitely traveled. The major focus of travelers was to explore religion, architecture, rather monuments. In this detail, the name of Abdul Razak Samarkandi from Herat province visited during 15th Common Era, that is CE, in Vijayanagar Empire, South India. Another brief details of some travelers like El Baruni visited during 11th century Common Era was from Uzbekistan. Another traveler Ibn Battuta visited during 14th century Common Era from Morocco. Francois Bernier visited in 17th century Common Era from France. The first page shows about the details of palm coconut. Betel leaves, how they influenced the thinking. We will see it in detail in later pages. Now the main details about Al-Biruni. Are like this. Al-Biruni was born in Khwarizm Empire in 973 CE in Uzbekistan. Major works include Kitab al-Hind, Arabic language. The story of Al-Biruni is like this, that he was taken POW, prisoner of war, and extradited to Ghazni, where he developed liking for traveling to India and Eastern world. Let me give you a brief about Ghaznavid Empire. Major ruler Mahmud Ghazni. The empire existed in Afghanistan region. Major works done by Al-Biruni are: he translated the Patanjali's grammar book into Arabic. Al-Biruni was expert in languages like Sanskrit, Prakrit, and Pali, etc. Although he was not having the knowledge of Greek, but had the brief idea of Greek philosophy, mathematics, etc. This is depicted from his symmetry in writing the text. Al-Biruni Majorly traveled to Punjab and northwest India. Wrote about region from Volga River from Russia trains to Caspian Sea. Guys, this is what I call active learning. Let's not stop to some random facts and also integrate our knowledge with the facts that are frequently asked in exams. Back to the topic, he traveled from Punjab and northwest and wrote about region from Volga River to Sahara Desert. Let's study some brief detail about Kitab ul Hind. Basically, the book was in Arabic language. Had 80 chapters. Geometric symmetry shown in figures depicted, plus have knowledge of mathematics. Various subjects include religion, festivals, astronomy, alchemy, that is medicine related chemistry, social life, customs, etc. and weight measures too. The major highlight of book is its symmetrical knowledge derived from mathematical knowledge of Al-Biruni. There is a brief introduction about the word Hindu, how it came. Let's see about this. The Hindu word origin started from the word Sindhu or Indu, that is Indus. That was said by Old Persian word to the people living to the east region of river Indus. The Arabs continued the Persian usage and called this region as Al-Hind, and the people living in Al-Hind as Hindi. Later, the Turks took this word from Arabs and started calling Indus as Hindu and the land of Hindu as Hindustan, and their language as Hindvi. Here you can see that there is no mention of religion anywhere. Anywhere. This is an important term that the Hindu is not related to religion. It is related to the people and place they lived. Page number 118 shows detail about the another traveler, Ibn Battuta. Ibn Battuta was born in Tangier, present-day Morocco. Visited India in 14th CE by reaching Sindh in 1333 AD or CE. He visited during the reign of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, who was impressed by his intellect and appointed him as judge, or the Arabic word qazi. And he stayed in India for a long time. The works of Ibn Battuta include Rihla or Rihala, that is travelogue. Details about traveling experiences are shown here. This too was written in Arabic language. The details like the distances between places like Sindh to Delhi was mentioned in Rihla, 250 days, and from Multan to Delhi, time duration was 40 days. In several places, Ibn Battuta is compared to Marco Polo because he too compared Indian architecture. Let me tell you, Marco Polo is from Italy, Venice, and visited in 13th century Common Era. Ibn Battuta was compared to Marco Polo. Because he too visited India and China. Ibn Battuta also visited port of China, Zaitun. Remember this term, guys, because Facts are asked as it is in UPSC prelims in match the columns. Nowadays, the facts like these are frequently asked, and these are not from random sources, these are from NCERT, and we tend to ignore the facts like these. So please pay attention to this because you can't afford to lose marks on these. The another name of Zaitun port is Guangzhou port. The route of visit of Ibn Battuta was from Malabar coast to Maldives and later to Sri Lanka, then to China, then to West Bengal and Assam area, and his journey ended here. Ibn Battuta has also mentioned the problems he faced while traveling. They were frequently attacked and at sometimes felt lonely. Or homesick. The Ibn Battuta was escaped from death, was nearly about to die due to looting by robbers. These situations show the law and order of that time, that is 14th century CE. Ibn Battuta influenced many other travelers to travel to India, like Abdul Razak Samarkandi from Herat in 15 CE. He visited Vijayanagar Empire during the reign of Krishna Dev Raya, the most important leader of Vijayanagar Empire. We will see about him in later chapters. The second one inspired was Mahmud Balkhi. He traveled widely in India in 17th century CE, precisely 1620. Third one was Sheikh Ali Hazia. He traveled North India majorly during 18th century CE. He was disappointed and disguised to see India because he don't got red carpet treatment. But travelers like Mahmud Balkhi was impressed and found India as land of wonders. This showed the different, and he too became a sannyasi, a hermit for some time. These things show the perspective of different times and the background of different travelers is reflected in their writings. Other foreign travelers include Portuguese travelers like Duarte Barbosa visited South India in Vijayanagar Empire majorly and compared trade and society of India in 1500s. This led to the influence of Britishers slash Europeans to India's invent. Other such Portuguese traveler was Jesuit Nobili, who visited during 15th century Common Era and translated Indian text to European and vice versa. The major contribution was from European travelers was of Francois Bernier. He was a doctor who lived in India for 12 years, associated with Dara Shikhu, who was Shah Jahan's son, plus Danishmand Khan, who was an intellect in Mughal court. The contribution of other European traveler like Jean Baptiste Tremnier is commendable. He visited in 17th century CE and visited India 6 times in total. Compared trade in India to Iran and Ottoman Empire. This led to the Europeans' advent to India. Another important name associated in European travelers is Manusi. He was a native of Italy and a doctor. He stayed in India, never returned to Europe. The major contribution of these European travelers was rather the reason for India's advent by Europeans, because they influenced the European rulers by their thinking to come to India for trade purpose. And as we know that Britishers came to India for trade and ended up ruling here. The major contributions in cultural and food habits were also done by these Europeans. Like mention of dahi, that is curd plus lemonade, by Francois Bernier. As refreshing juices is mentioned. Now we will see how the alien world, according to Europeans, Arabs, was compared. Here alien worlds means Indian subcontinent region. Travelers oftenly spoke about caste, social hierarchy systems. The major contribution is of El Beruni. He talks in his book about the differences, difficulties he faced while writing Kitab al-Hind and his overall travel experience. The first hurdle he faced was of language, of course. The second was of religious belief. Third was surprisingly the self-absorption and consequent insularity. Remember guys, the terms like these are mentioned in NCERTs as it is. So we have to mention them in mains answer to fetch extra marks. And the fourth one was the geographical difficulties. Here the term consequent insularity means that the people were not easily absorbed in others' culture, or were rather living in insulation, that is not mixing easily, or introvert type of nature. Al-Baruni has mentioned many details about the caste system prevalent at that time. He has mentioned that already four social divisions are present in Europe. So he was not surprised from the social hierarchy or Varna system in India. He was considering the Varna system like the caste system or social hierarchy of Europe. But he kept an Islam religion to exception. He said in Islam all are considered equal. Al-Baruni also disapproved pollution in caste system. The meaning of pollution here is the lower caste or the fourth caste in Varna system, that is Shudras. He said the pollution is intrinsic in caste system, like the sun clarifies air, salt purifies ocean water, so as pollution in caste is intrinsic to existence. This observation has led to the changed belief of indigenous population of India with Europeans. Al-Baruni compared the Varna system to Brahman as head, Kshatriyas as shoulder or hands, Vaishyas as thigh, Shudras as feet. The difference between Shudras and Vaishyas was not much, and between Brahmans and Kshatriyas was almost similar. He also mentioned the fourth caste, rather fifth caste, pardon me, as Antyaja, that is cheap indenture labor who provide labor to zamindars. Although there was a caste system, but there was a distinct feature from Europe. All castes lived together in same towns plus houses plus lodgings. This was a surprise to him. Now we can see that Ibn Battuta was majorly inclined towards art and architecture. He has given a brief detail about Delhi and Daulatabad in Maharashtra. He has compared Delhi with Daulatabad. The cities were a great marketplace. The marketplace were not only for social but cultural exchanges also. Ibn Battuta had wide interest in architecture. Details given about him and Delhi architecture are: he says that the lower town was made up of stone, upper town of brick. The place was having a huge grain storage to feed the population of city, and during war or famine. Ibn Battuta has also mentioned the unique darwaza system. He has also mentioned domes, fine symmetry in architecture. He has mentioned total 28 gates. The largest one was Badaun Darwaza. As these gates were close to each other, they were interconnected. The gate of grain market was called Mandvi Darwaza. He has also mentioned the details of coconut and pan, that is betel leaves. He has compared the coconut with human head having two eyes and a fiber as hairs, two holes as eyes. He has also mentioned the fiber was used for making ship cables, etc. He has also mentioned the details of singing cupola. Guys, this was a place where a female singer or male singer would stand on these type of platforms and they will sing for entertainment, king entry, etc. These were also in marketplaces, and place like this was called Tarabad in Daulatabad, Maharashtra. He has also mentioned the muslin cloth which was worn only by nobles, as it was considered so expensive and royal. He has also mentioned a unique system of communication called as ulug, horse based, or dawa, human based. Guys, see the system worked like this. There was every 4 miles there was a royal horse stationed, and one person would carry a letter or message from this place at full speed to this place, and then from this place to next 4 miles. This would run very efficiently, and this would drastically reduce the time taken by one single individual to reach. Like the estimated time given by Ibn Battuta, pardon me, is very less. That is nearly only 5 days would take to transport a message from Sindh to Delhi. Whereas if human would have traveled, it would have taken 40 to 50 days. So you can see the efficiency of this system. The another system was dawa or man based. In this, a man would run at full efficiency from one place to another place. And in this system, the efficiency of man would not decrease. And this was more efficient system, at efficient than uluk system, that is horse system. This system was often used to transport fruits, etc. from Khurasan province, which were famous and demanded in India. El Barun, pardon me, Ibn Battuta has also gave details about architecture of temple and idol in Kerala, Calicut. He has never seen a huge idol of gold with ruby in her eyes, intentionally made to see it like as if the goddess is looking at you. He was very much amazed by looking this. The another European traveler Bernier tried to compare Europe and India. He widely traveled in Mughal era. The major differences between others and Bernier were that Ibn Battuta compared as it is, that is, no biases in Ibn Battuta's thinking. But at the same time, Francois Bernier compared Europe and East, and he showed that Europe is superior. He criticized the Mughal ownership of land, which was perceived by him as rent taken, which was a misunderstood concept by him. Actually, at that time, the tax on crop was quite high. So, so he considered it to be rent. And he said the concept of private property is not in India. And Europe should never become like India. He considered all land as of Mughal Empire, which was misinformed. Or misunderstood to him. The details of land system is well understood from Abul Fazl's and Akbari. Here the agricultural system tax was quite high, but the land was not private government. Land private land concept was prevalent. Bernier also contributed to the fact that the classes in India are only two, either upper or kings or lower, like farmers, peasants, etc. He said no lower caste existed, no middle class, pardon me, existed in India, like as in Europe. He called India as a state of barbarians and beggars. And requested, projected that Europe should rule India through his writings. Some details about royal karkhanas or manufacturing units are also mentioned by Francois Bernier. Here, tradesmen from every trade like potters, goldsmith, painters, etc. worked. Guys, the term Mahajan is given here. It means the merchant in Western India side. Remember, the UPSC often confuses the term Western with Eastern in MCQs. So be aware of the traps here. Merchant in Western India are called Mahajans. You can see some surnames also in Western India related to Mahajan. Al-Baruni has also mentioned about Al-Baruni plus other travelers have also mentioned about the woman, slave and sati system. The slaves here were used as spies and were often women that were captured in raids and expeditions. It was the habit of each and every king to keep an eye on his nobles with these spies. The sati system is also mentioned, where on a burning fire the husband is also burned with her wife which is alive. Sorry, his wife which is alive. The term here related to doli, as we see in North India side, on which a woman during marriage is carried on four arms. It is called as palanquins.